Alright, 92.5% of what number is 296? Whether you use an equation or a proportion to find this answer, you're not going to want to work with 92.5% in this format. We're going to have to change the appearance of this, but as always in math, you're not allowed to change the value. So we'll focus on 92.5%. First of all, mixed numbers are a bit of trouble to work with, so we're going to change 1/2 into the decimal form. Okay, so 1/2. I think I'll do my conversion over here. You might already know that that's equivalent to 5/10, but the way you would always change, or anytime you want to change a fraction to a decimal, you basically just do what it tells you. This is 1 divided by 2. So here's 1 divided by 2, and you notice right away that it doesn't quite fit. So the decimal that's sitting here but not written, you now have to write it in, tell the world about it, give yourself some zeros. I can put as many zeros as I want. I'm not changing the value of what I'm looking at. And 2 goes into 10 5 times with nothing left over. So 1/2 is the same as 5/10. Alright, so we'll rewrite our 92, instead of that fraction, we'll put 5/10, and we still have our percent sign. Alright, and again, I'm just addressing the logic here. Once you understand the logic, you tend to use a shortcut. But this percent sign stands for per 100. Okay. Well, if this is saying I'm dividing by 100, if I want to get rid of this sign, all I have to do is divide by 100. So this sign means, make sure I'm still fitting this on the screen, divide by 100. Well, let's keep our 92 and 5/10. Alright. Now anytime you have a decimal and you divide by 100, you simply move the decimal 2 places to the left. So we have 92, and it was 0.5 or 5/10. But because we're dividing, I think I'll do that in red. Because we're dividing by 100, the decimal is going to shift 2 places to the left. Alright? So 92.5% can also be written as 925 thousandths. So we have 0.925. Okay? This is simply another way to write this value. It's the exact same value. Okay? I think first I'll solve this converting it to an equation. 925 thousandths of what number means times some number, I'll use x, is 296. Alright, so now we have an algebraic equation. In order to solve the algebraic equation, you want to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 925 thousandths. And obviously you have to do the same thing on each side of the equation. Alright, on the left side, well, that always cleans up nicely. That's a 1, so I have x equals, and we'll have to do a little bit of calculation here. So let's see, where's my room? I think I'll do my calculation over here. And you're not allowed to have your decimal out in front here when you're trying to divide, so I have to move that 3 spaces. In order to be balanced, I have to put this decimal in and move it 3 spaces I have to tell the world where it is, and I'll need a 0 to hold each space. Okay? So 925 does not go into 296, but it goes into 2,960. This is almost 1,000, and that's almost 3,000. So I'm going to suspect that 3 times 925 is going to be the correct number of times to divide in. So that'd be 15, 6, 7, 27. Yeah. So be careful that the 3 lands over the thousands place. Okay. And 3 times 925 is 2,775. And this gives us 5, 8, 15 is 8, 185 left over. Bring down your next digit. 925 goes into 1,850 exactly 2 times, with nothing left over. You bring down your last 0. Every time you bring down a digit, you have to ask and answer, how many times does 925 go into 0? It goes in 0 times. We've used up all our digits. So you solved this question and found out that 92.5% of 320 is 296. Okay. We could have also solved this using a proportion method. So I think I'll go ahead and do that. Oh, also, once you have this answer, it's good to see if it makes sense. 92.5%, that's almost 100%. And 320 is pretty close to 296, so this seems plausible. If we had used a proportion method, you can say for proportion method. All right, let's start again. Some people describe it as the amount over the base is equivalent to the percent over 100. I follow a somewhat mechanical pattern. Is over of equals whatever the percentage is over 100. Usually the percentage isn't very hard to put in. This one did involve some work, but we found out that 92.5 over 100 was another way to write this. So I'll put, well, maybe I'll say that a different way. 92.5% is the same as 92.5%. Okay? So I can write, if this percentage sign stands for per 100, I can just put 92 5/10 over it. Okay? And then for is over of, or the amount over the base, is 296. We have 296 out of the amount. What number? We don't know. That's why we put an X there. Okay. And now to solve this, you can use cross products. So that's to say X times 92 5/10 is 92 5/10 X, and then 100 times 296. Just tack on a couple zeros. So if we're to get X by itself, we'll have to divide each side by 92 5/10. Okay, and on the left side, that's certainly cleaned up. You have X by itself, so I'm running out of room there. I'm just going to put my X up here. and then 29,600 divided by 92 and 5/10. Let's show that right here. This time you won't have to move the decimal quite as far. We only move this decimal one place. Okay, so we only have to put in and then move this decimal one place. You always have to tell the world where it is, and you need a 0 to hold that position. And we've already crunched the numbers here. We know that 925 goes into 2,960 3 times, and that gives us 2,775 with the remainder of 185. We bring down our next digit. 925 goes into 1,850 twice for that exact amount. And you have to use up your last digit. 925 goes into 0 times. So I think you can see either way you get the exact same answer, and it's quite plausible.